So we're back here at the National Franchise Exhibition. I'm here with Fiona. Hi Fiona, thanks for joining us. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your business?
Okay, I'm Fiona Jones. I set up franchise accounting specialists designed specifically for help towards franchisees and franchisors. And we've been established as an accounting firm, Grant Jones Accountancy, for about 20 years. We took on some franchise clients and we found that they actually do have some very unique problems that established businesses might not have. So for example, they may have very little finance acumen when they first enter the business and require much more hand-holding, shall we say, than a normal entrepreneur might. So.
Yeah. And how long have you been operating in the franchise sector?
Well, as I say, we've had a few franchise clients for several years, and we're beginning to see an upsurge in the franchise market, and that's why we've decided in the last few months to actually have a specific arm dedicated just to franchise and to support franchisees and franchisors. So, for example, when a franchisee joins a franchise, they may need business planning, cash flow planning, that sort of thing. And then as they work through the life cycle, they're going to need bookkeeping and accounts and compliance, so everything that goes to the tax man. And what we try and do is we try to keep the tax bill to a minimum by keeping in constant touch with the businessman. So we will provide quarterly or monthly meetings. We run through the figures with them so that they understand exactly where the profit is coming from and what's driving the profit. And then we can also give them an estimate as to what their tax bill is going to be in 9-12 months' time. So from that point of view, it's brilliant because we can work with them on their cash flow to make sure that they've got enough cash in the business and to see whether they've got any funding needs or anything like that. The other thing we can do is by keeping in constant contact with them, we can foresee any potential problems, such as one of the common problems that we've found is that people take too much money out of the business and then they have a problem with an overdrawn director's loan account, which means they then have to pay something called Section 455 tax at the end of the year. So basically, your tax bill can double overnight without you even realising that you've got a problem. So if we're in constant contact with them and we see that problem coming up, we can alert them straight away and say, come on, you need to put some money back into the business or you need to stop taking out so much. So that's where we like to feel that we're very different to traditional accountants.
Okay, cool. And obviously now you're working within the franchise sector.
Yes.
It's a kind of very unique sector, I think, and it's quite a small community of obviously businesses. How are you finding that, being in the...
I think it's very exciting. There's lots of opportunities. So, for example, I've talked about the sort of services that we can offer franchisees, but in fact, when it comes to the actual franchisor at their level, we could also provide a training program for all their new franchisees that come on, so that we can help them to understand what a profit and loss account looks like, what a balance sheet is, and what the difference is between the two. So I think we've got a lot of opportunities to help both sides of the equation, if you like.
Yeah.
So, but it's an exciting sector because, as I say, we've seen far more franchise businesses coming onto the market, and a lot of people who are coming out of employment are looking for opportunities, and they don't want to work for other people. They want to be their own boss, and that's quite exciting, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose the question that we ask everyone that's come on, now you've kind of had a chance to look around the show and see all the different kind of franchise opportunities. If you were in another life and you were going to invest in a franchise, what kind of franchise, or is there a particular franchise you look at and go, I would love to be a franchisee of that brand? Or a particular sector within franchising you would like to...
I think the food sector is beginning to look really exciting because we're seeing a lot of businesses coming over from, for example, Taiwan and Asia, and that's quite exciting because just the colours and and the smells and the different tastes are really interesting. I think also there are franchises that are looking to come over from the US as well, and I think that's going to be very interesting because we've seen a lot of consultants at this show who are sort of sniffing out the show for potential franchises to come from abroad, and I think that's really interesting because it'll help to diversify the market and make it a bit more competitive, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, now you're in the sector, I think what all of us in the sector, something that we would love to achieve, I suppose, is the general awareness around franchising as a career opportunity.
Yes.
I still think in this country, franchising is such an amazing model for people to start a business and be successful, but maybe that awareness around franchising as that option is not there. What do you think we could do as a sector to really raise that awareness of franchising?
That's a tricky one because I think everybody knows about the exhibitions. That's been the traditional way that franchises have been marketed. Yes, it definitely is a very exciting market. I think it would be useful to have more information out there so that people can make more informed decisions, if you see what I mean. The actual franchise fees are very varied. I mean, I've seen £4,000 right up to 25 and upwards, and people need to know what they need to expect for their money as well. So I think that's good.
Absolutely. And if someone wants to contact you and find out more about what you do in the business, what's the best way of doing that?
Right. Well, we have a website called franchiseaccountingspecialists.co.uk. We also have telephones. So our phone number, do you want me to give the phone number?
Of course, yeah.
Our phone number is 01276 682 588, and we're part of the Grant Jones Accountancy Group, so the phone may be answered Grant Jones. And also we're on social media as franchiseaccountingspecialists.co.uk, so get in touch.
Amazing. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
That's okay. Thank you very much.